Welcome to Escape from Alcatraz. In 1962, 3 inmates made a daring escape from Alcatraz State Prison. Inmate Frank Morris, John Anglin, and his brother, Clarence Anglin. On January 18, 1960, Morris was transferred to Alcatraz. And he is the brilliant mastermind behind the escape. He was born September 1st, 1926, in Washington, D.C. But in his childhood, he was shuffled from one foster home to another because he was orphaned at the age of 11. He spent his formative years in boys' training school, and then he graduated to a series of larger prisons. On November 13, 1940, he was convicted of theft and sentenced to the National Training School for Boys. His sentence was 6 years, but he paroled in less than a year. And then after that, it was just a series of incarceration for such crimes as breaking and entering, drug possession, and armed robbery. This is part of his rap sheet. So in 1952, he was arrested for narcotics and armed robbery, and they sent him to Alcatraz because he had also amassed a series of escapes. So they sent him there. Prison officials claimed he had superior intelligence with an IQ of 133. Borderline genius. He immediately, allegedly, began to devise an escape plan with 3 other inmates: Clarence Anglin, John Anglin, and Alan West, but Alan had to abort his plan to escape because he got stuck and couldn't escape. They began to lay plans when they found a bunch of old saw blades laying around, and they used crude tools to drill holes and dig out the wall. And behind their cells was a common unguarded utility corridor. And so that's what they used to escape. They fashioned all sorts of crude tools, like a homemade drill made from a broken vacuum cleaner motor. And they had a secret workshop inside the building. And they took turns keeping watch for the guards in the evening before the last count using a homemade periscope. They used a variety of stolen and donated materials to build everything they needed to escape. More than 50 raincoats were used to fashion together life vests and a raft. And it took them 1 year to chisel through the cell walls. By May 1962, the holes were complete. And they were able to escape. Each of them had fashioned dummy heads out of paper mache, toilet paper, and soap, and human hair from the barbershop, which they put in their bunks to make it look like they were still asleep. They made a crude raft out of rubber raincoats and plastic bags. So they went through the unused corridor and they were able to get up to the roof after climbing a 30-foot pipe. Then they shimmied down a 50-foot kitchen pipe. The guards, even though they had their spotlights on and everything, did not detect them escaping. They were able to put the raft in the water. After they climbed 2 successive 12-foot barbed wire fences. Authorities say they launched the raft from the north shore of the island, and by 10 o'clock, the men were off the island. When they set out, the raft was surrounded by dense fog, and they were never seen or heard from again. I did read that Alcatraz was closed 1 year after they escaped. And it's still there today as a museum for the public. This is Al Capone. He was a famous inmate. And I guess they used to have a snitch box. Here's a menu. There was a 1946 riot. This is solitary confinement. So the guys were never seen or heard from again, but there are many theories about how they escaped and if they survived. Federal officials say the men drowned and were swept away by the strong current, but there's no concrete proof the three men died. The FBI refers to the escape with the name Hollywood. In 2013, a letter was sent to San Francisco police, allegedly written by John Anglin. It said, "My name is John Anglin. I escaped from Alcatraz in June 1962. I'm 83 years old and in bad shape. I have cancer. Yes, we all made it that night, but barely. If you announce on TV that I will be promised to first go to jail for no more than a year and get medical attention, I will write back to let you know exactly where I am. This is no joke." According to the U.S. Marshal, the FBI lab examined the letter for fingerprints and DNA, and the results were inconclusive. If the men were alive today, Frank Morris would be 90. John Anglin would be 86. Clarence Anglin would be 87. The FBI repressed the letter. According to Don O'Keefe with the U.S. Marshals, some may believe that we're chasing shadows, but we're still investigating any and all credible leads. But our efforts are meant not just to perform due diligence, but to be a message to all fugitives that the U.S. Marshals don't give up because of the passing of time. The FBI closed the case in 1979. And 13 years after the escape, a photo surfaced showing the Anglin brothers allegedly. This photo is of the Anglin brothers allegedly in Brazil. And a nephew of the Anglin said their grandmother received roses all the time. They're a little bit upset that the FBI didn't contact them when they received the letter. The FBI says it was a simple hoax. And the FBI maintains they were swept out to sea. End of story. Within 2 days of the escape, a packet of letters sealed in rubber and related to the men washed up. And a policeman reported seeing a boat the night they escaped to have someone on board with a flashlight. But authorities could never find the owner of the strange boat or where it went. The FBI says our investigation at the time concluded otherwise for the following reasons. There's more than a mile-long swim from Alcatraz to Angel Island. But there were strong currents and frigid bay water. The odds were clearly against these men. The families couldn't provide any financial support. There's no evidence to suggest they are alive. And they officially closed the case files in 1979. And the Marshals are still the sole agency investigating the case today. Escape from Alcatraz. Did 3 Alcatraz inmates pull off the greatest escape in prison history? Thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.